Okay, call this Thursday, June 4th, regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors of Gateway Services District to order and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, let the record show that Carol, Bob, and Ed are here present, and
Doug.
Bob, I'm sorry, and Doug, and would like to have a motion for allowing Mr. Geppert and Ms. Walsh to fully participate in this meeting remotely due to exceptional circumstances.
So moved.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Approval of final agenda. Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
So moved.
To approve? I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Local achievements and recognitions. Do we have anything?
Yeah, I just want to bring up Matt. He's our new Stephanie. If you just want to come up and give a quick intro and just tell us your name.
Yeah. Hi, board. My name's Matthew Drake. I'm the new stormwater specialist. Prior to getting hired here at Gateway, I worked for Solitude Lake Management for the past 5 years as a project manager. Very experienced with lake management. My specialties include water body restoration and fisheries management.
We are excited
Welcome aboard.
to have him on
Thank you.
board.
You got the map memorized to know where you're at?
Getting there, getting there, getting there.
By the second board meeting, Ed will quiz you on lake numbers. You'll be at an 80% accuracy rate on this.
Okay.
We'll take you over to pond number, what is it, pond 1 across I-75, and if
There
you can
today?
find your way back, you
I was,
pass.
We dropped him off and said good luck.
I was at Pelican Pond 1 today.
Okay.
Behind
That's the same thing I do to my kids. When they get 12 years old, I take them to pond 1. If they can make it home, then yeah.
So we just wanted to, so you guys could see, if you see him out in the field doing the inspections, put a name with a face. Did you already go over to the pond subcommittee and?
Not
yet. We've got you scheduled to go over there for that too,
Yeah.
so.
Have you been around any of the communities yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I completed waterway inspections last week.
What I would love to see is after you're about 30 days in role, I'm sure you're going to be handed responsibilities and it'll kind of tell you where we think your priorities or opportunities lie. But I'd love to see you after 30 days come back, or at least maybe just generate just a summary of your first 30 days and what you've seen and where you think the opportunities are.
Agreed.
I'd love to see,
Yep.
as a new set of eyes coming in, I think it would be really important for the board to get your assessment. It doesn't have to be, a novel, just what you think
Right,
the
yeah.
high level
Yeah.
areas of opportunities are, and does that coincide with the priorities that were handed to you? That'd be great.
We'll do that as part of the monthly report.
Yeah.
Because if it has anything with money, you're going to assist us on the budgeting. How to pay for it.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
anyway,
Okay.
wanted to welcome him in. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Thank
Say
you.
hi when we see you around the hood.
Yep. Happy to be here.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you, thank you.
Matt, what was your last name?
Drake.
Drake. Okay.
Okay. Any public comments? Or were there any other
Oh, I have one
achievements
to
or
read
anything?
in.
Oh, we do have no additional local achievements and recognitions, but we do have one public comment. to
One
read.
I
public
want to
comment.
read in.
Okay,
All
is
right.
it online?
No,
Somebody here.
it came yesterday. You. All right, it came from Eileen Callan. It says, "Dear district staff and PrAC committee members, I have reviewed the recording of the 6/2/26 PrAC committee meeting and would like to provide comments regarding the proposal to move the dog park to the fun park. Paul Flores presented 4 options at the meeting and each was discussed. And as I understand the final motion, the committee recommended relocating the dog park to the new Commons Park as previously agreed upon in 2024. The committee also requested a timeline for when the Commons area will be ready for the installation of the dog park. There was no clear timeline when this option will be available. I fully support the committee's recommendation to use the Commons Park. I would like to reiterate the concerns homeowners have regarding the proximity of a dog park to residential neighborhoods. In February 2024, A sound study conducted with the Lee County Sheriff's Office determined that a dog park would violate local noise ordinances. Those results are available in the March 5th, 2024 PrAC meeting agenda packet. She lists the ordinance. Where a shrub hedge has since been planted, it serves only as a visual barrier. A 5-foot shrub is not an effective sound buffer for a residential area. For many residents, the constant barking and the resulting barking reaction from neighborhood dogs would be a highly disruptive to our quality of life. I implore the committee to continue working with district staff and the Board of Supervisors to relocate the dog park to the new Commons Park area as soon as possible. This move will benefit the homeowners who use the park. Allowing the placement of the dog park near all other amenities seems to be fiscally responsible and is preserving the quality of life for those living adjacent to the fun park. Best regards, Eileen Callen.
What's the address of that owner?
She does not give an address.
I believe she lives in Eagle Point.
Eagle Point. Okay, I was going to
believe
say either Eagle Point or Pinecrest.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
About
Well, can we respond back that we just passed a budget that include an allowance for the construction of a dog park at the Commons
Commons.
Park?
So the board did not opine
No,
on
we
that?
did not.
No, well,
Yeah, we did
we
not.
haven't approved it yet. We discussed that and it's in the current version.
No, I think the money is in there because regardless where it's gonna be built, it's going to be that $150,000,
Okay.
but I don't think
Okay,
we.
good point.
Yeah, I
good
just
point.
want to make sure. And then
Yeah,
I
good
do
point.
have a question, Chelsea. What is she talking about that we'll be in violation? The results show that we'll be in violation of the city ordinance on, I know nothing about that.
I don't either, truth be told, Flavia, and I haven't had.
Yeah,
a
I just
chance to-
I just want to have that to be on the record because as far as I know, we were absolutely okay with it. So clear the record, unless she did something on her own, we
Did
would
she-
not be violating any noise.
Did she reference a March meeting?
PrAC minutes, so
PrAC minutes?
I'll have to go back
We'll have to
and look at
check it.
those.
Okay.
And Chelsea, didn't you go out and do
the
decibel
sheriff.
readings with the sheriff at the dog park? Do you have those findings? Because that's something you can,
I'll have, for the current,
The-
so I've done decibel readings at the current dog park. Back then, we went to the fun park on a normal day and there were dogs just walking the property. We took readings then, and then I've also taken readings in Hampton Park for the proximity to the commons, so.
um, so what I'd like to see is like if you can dig those up, but also we probably should do another sound study. We should probably do it at 3 times during the day, one in the morning, one midday, and one in the afternoon at this dog park,
Current.
and measure. So when you
New data.
do your time study, your decibel reading, and then document the environment. So there were 5 dogs, 3 owners, medium size, like just document the environment that the decibel readings are capturing at the 3 different times. And you might, I mean, if you wanted to be thorough, you would maybe kind of figure out if we can through gate readings, like when is our
Yeah.
peak
I already
time?
have that.
We know.
So look
Yeah.
at the time cards and pick 3 times. Like I think during the day, if you morning, a midday, and an afternoon, but maybe isolate peak time. How many dogs are out there? What were the size of those dogs? I know you can have a yappy
This
big
time of the
dog,
year, the afternoon's going to be minimal because it's hot.
Yeah. but I think that will give us a little bit more data.
Make decisions.
Because if we look at 3 different times, or maybe we do 3 different times over, several weeks, we could say this is the average decibel reading during these time periods. And then that way, when someone does mention a potential impact to, to noise, we can have some data that's statistically relevant.
So I did not reply to her because this board has not opined on where the dog
made a
park,
decision, yeah.
if at all. Again, PrAC just opined on it and is going to come to you with a recommendation hopefully soon. I will say that depending on that decision with regards to if you chose to move it to the fun park, you voted to sunset the fun park. The intent for us to sunset that fun park by the end of the fiscal year, that's our goal. But if you decide to move this to the fun park. I don't want to work to sunset, put new sod, put nice things in, only to undo it with a dog park. So I'm kind of waiting on your decision with regards to the dog park location for a schedule.
We should set a timeline for that. Like,
Okay.
we need to make a decision on relocation of the dog park, specifically if that relocation is in alignment with the fun park. Because if it's not, we're probably looking at next summer before we do any type of parking lot. So the driver to relocate the dog park, let's say to the commons area, that's at least a year out, because there's no reason for us to accelerate that, because we can't do anything with the parking lot.
Yeah.
There is, from what I'm hearing from you, if we were to move it to the fun park, there probably is a timeline, because we don't want to invest money in throwaway. So,
Well, the other thing too is I don't want to take and just snub the park committee right off the bat either for a recommendation they're making. I think we ought to hear from them.
Yeah, so we'll try to
One
get
thing
that
that I
to
want to say, one thing that I just want us to say, no matter what we decide to put on that location, we are going to get pushback. So for me, I would like to look at what is going to be less invasive at that location. We all know when we try to put that in for selling the area, they oppose to that. Anything, what they want is, they want nothing in there, but we're not doing a service to the entire community by doing nothing. So, while I want to take in consideration that they'll be against the dog park, I think from all the things that could go in there, the dog park, it's the less invasive of things, because what they want is nothing. They just want to, nothing change, but they also don't want us to sell it to recoup some of the money. They also don't want us to do, we're going to be pushed, and I just want us to be aware that we're going to have pushback regardless of what we do in the area, unless we do nothing. And I think doing nothing is a disservice to the community. So I know how I feel about moving the dog park over there versus the commons.
we'll bring that to you at the next meeting. I'm just putting this on the record so you know. We're continuing to operate. We're continuing to sell dog park passes. Nothing has changed on our side. We're still operating until you tell us otherwise.
and this would be a good exercise for the PrAC. I know that they've done some of this, and I don't know to the extent, but, to Flavia's point, I think they need to look holistically, both from a pros and cons perspective, or pro relocation versus any adverse reaction that we might have to the location. But let's look at availability, so the ease of access. Let's look at cost. Let's look at impact over the two locations. And that might be a good exercise for PrAC, because we need to look at it from a community perspective, but also of the parties that could be impacted, either the pro users and those that might just live in the adjacent neighborhoods.
So we'll probably have to take that task on from a staff perspective, because PrAC, I believe, just chose to take the summer off. July,
That's fine.
August.
Whoever does it, I don't
So-
really care. I just thought it might fall within PrAC's purview,
We'll
but
work on it and
yeah.
we'll try to get that to you at the next, at your next meeting. So, okay, that is, the only other comment pertaining to that we received was, from another resident saying, is there any opportunity for reciprocity with existing,
The parks.
other parks and public parks from is county? The alternative would be, I know Pelican has a dog park, but I don't know if PPCA would be interested. I don't know if,
Does Pelican have a dog park?
Yes.
We have two of them.
A big and a small dog park.
is it leveraged?
Is it leveraged?
I mean, do people use it?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay.
yes.
Anything else, public
no
comment?
other public comments.
Okay, advisory committee items and reports.
I move on agenda item 7A, which is the reappointment of Tom Shaner to PPAC.
Okay.
Hang on, we did not, because Flavia and Bob were on during the workshop, we forgot to, unless I missed it also, did you make a motion to allow them to fully
We
participate
did,
remotely?
yeah.
You did? Okay,
Yeah,
I
We did
missed it.
that today, but we didn't we did it for this meeting, but not for the workshop.
The work, okay, I missed it for this one,
Wanna make sure I
sorry.
did-
Must have
we
been
did
while I
that.
was out.
Thank you. Yeah, we did it. Yeah, but Carol made the motion and Doug seconded it. Okay, you have a motion on the floor.
For 7A.
For 7A, which is Tom's appointment. I'll second that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. Approval of minutes,
I
we
move
have,
on agenda item 8A and B.
thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. Consent agenda items, we have 2, A and B.
I move on agenda items 9A and B.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. Can you scroll a little bit?
Yep.
District engineer, is he on?
Nope,
No.
nothing,
Not on
not
this
this
time, is
meeting.
he? Okay. Administrative agenda items, I saw that contract, $350,000. This is largely subcontracted out. Is that correct?
Yes, and
Okay.
James McCord is here with Kapoor. So if you recall, we had, Tetra Tech would be handling this, Kapoor and James and his team would be the sub to Tetra Tech. If you recall, we had the master irrigation system renovation project, and then we added and combined the landscaping of Griffin to that. That is in essence why the project dollar value has increased from what you may have seen back in the day, because there are additional MPDS permits that are required. But I mean, if you have any questions for James, he is here. But ultimately, Tetra Tech will take the lead with Kapoor as their support.
Is this for both design and construction engineering services? Both?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I didn't have anything. I saw it all. I didn't have any question.
Move on agenda item 11A.
Motion to approve Tetra Tech task assault authorization 2026-8. Do you have a second? Doug?
I will second. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
All in
second.
favor? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you.
Thanks,
Oh, and the
James.
fun
Sherwood.
one.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good day.
Fee schedule discussion. We have a, what is it, a revised chart from the last meeting. Anything you want to present on this, Laura?
I actually haven't been involved in
So
this.
this,
This is Chelsea.
so PRAC, sorry, too many acronyms. PRAC did start to have a conversation regarding the peach colored items. We have the tentative public hearing, we have the public hearing set for the June 18th. We do have overflow available that will be at the church. So if you had any additional, comments or review, but really this is just hey, we're going to be having a public hearing scheduled at your next meeting. Any additional things that you
This
want to bring up?
reflects the last meeting's discussion that we
Yes.
had.
Yes.
Okay.
I still,
The peach colored is not going to the public hearing. The peach colored, I just want to be clear.
so that's still a pending item?
That is still a pending
So
item.
we don't need to discuss that today?
I guess the question is, if a member of the, see a copy of the proposed schedule, this is the document they would receive at the present time.
This was,
With the peach in or out of it, Tony?
peach is out.
That's the doc,
So you'd have to
Well,
split. I would create two separate documents.
well, that's the question is, in other words, if the document that's available, because we say link to the document, and this is a public record, it's a document. And if this is not the one that's going to the hearing on the 18th, we need to take out those items that are not going to be.
Okay, well, we can do that. The peach
Split it out.
is,
But you're
yeah,
just going to redact the peach.
yep, basically.
Okay.
Do that at a later time is what you're saying, Chelsea?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, no,
Does that?
thank you.
Does that require any motion?
I would just say we have the public hearing scheduled. I just want, I guess just direction to staff that for the public hearing, the schedule to be considered will be minus the peach, and that's what's going to be available to the public when they inquire in advance.
You want to make that motion?
I
Well,
do. That's
Okay.
what I said.
Okay. That's what I
I'll
heard, but
second
the hearing
what
aids
she
aren't working.
said.
Okay. What'd you say, Flavia?
I
Seconded
second what Carol
said.
just said.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
yeah, because if I recall correctly, the way it was advertised was a link. So that we don't have the whole thing in the paper, costing additional money than having to change.
Because somebody could just come back and say, well, I couldn't tell it was shaded. I thought it was for that. Yeah, not worth
Oh,
it.
because.
We'll make sure it's, the peach is removed.
Knock it out.
Can you just tell me, maybe this is the Lord, for our annually, what is our, what is our spend for the dog park?
Just a minute. I just got May financials, so hang on.
Are you
Well, I got
asking-
preliminary May financials.
You
I
asking
mean,
what was spent or what is
Yeah,
projected?
Annual, no, annual spend, let's say for physical 2025,
25?
yeah, for last year.
Uh,
My point, when we're looking at the fee schedule,
I can tell you the revenue is about 7,000, but I don't know. what
compared
the-
to the
that I remember
spend,
off
what
the
was
top
it,
of my
like
head.
30? Or,
It depends on if we do sod or not.
well, I
So-
think you have to bake in some sod repairs, maybe not to the extent of what, my point is,
We haven't done major overhauls.
if we're adopting a philosophy where I think we should have to, we may want to classify our amenities. And some amenities should fall under our methodology or our philosophy to being funded at a minimum of 50% by those leveraging those amenities when it is a fee-based or, whatever the classification is. Because the dog park would be one of those examples, and I'll go back to the original intent of when the dog park was presented to the board years ago by Ed Ryan and that group. It was the dog park was to be 100% self-funded. It was approved.
Well, it was.
100% self-funded, and it got approved under that direction, that it was not to add any additional burden to the district or to the residents. That was part of, how it got passed. It has not been the case.
It
So-
sounds like not even close.
Well, if you go down that road, though, you're going to start bringing out a whole plethora of can of snakes.
Well, my
You
point
got the pool, you got everything that we do
No, but
here
here's the,
that certain sects.
I
use.
understand that, but my
Yeah.
point is, that's why I think we need to potentially need a classification for our amenities. Because let's say like the fields, that is amenity that is driven by lease and program usage. The dog park is also both for residents and non-residents, it is a fee-based membership structure, whereas like the pool is not. Other amenities that we have are not, do not require additional fees for our residents to use. That's why I would say there's a classification that needs to be determined. And if we do go that route, then it does set us up for anything that is a class 1 amenity, that it needs to operate at a minimum of 50% revenue generating to offset resident costs. It's just an idea. I think if we're gonna set standards and policies, we need to carry it through, but we can't just objectively say this amenity needs to operate at 50% while this one does not, because the pool is going to come up. But I think the distinction is when you have an amenity that is driven by a lease or a membership or an additional fee-based structure, that would specify the class structure.
What's the dollar? I thought that the out of community people paid more
They do.
175.
It's 175.
versus
100.
75.
75? Is it 75?
Yeah, 75 for
Yeah.
residents, 175 for
175.
non-residents. And my point is, if we're looking at that, if we need to do like we did with the soccer complex and put ourselves on a schedule where over the next 3 years, we want to get to 50% or to 75%, we need to do that same type of thing. So just something to consider.
For fiscal 25, there was $7,500 in revenue. We do not track the mowing of the dog park separate because it was such a small area. We just lumped it in with the rest of landscaping. But other than that, the only thing that we tracked that specifically is for the dog park was a whole whopping $13 in sod expense for last year.
So
We had a budget of $25,000 for sod and we spent 13.
So what's
Dollars.
revenue versus expenses for the dog
Well,
park?
we made, in 25,
Yeah.
we made over $7,000.
But if we go back to
But-
2024, we we sod it twice that year, and we put in.
That's why I said it depends.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I'm trying to add a little
So
bit of
the
context.
budget
So,
is about, the way the budget sits with the sod budget versus the revenue, it's about 30%.
and a good example of that is like if we go to the soccer field, it's been running at a deficit for the last X amount of years. You could go back and get an average of what that percentage is, and it has maybe changed slightly. The dog park, I think maybe we would look at the last 3 years, because we've done sod, we've invested in pavilions and structures.
We have irrigation costs that we've just kind of lumped that into the total cost of the complex. Because if
Since
we,
it's such a small area, it's hard to break out.
so I mean, it's not, cut and dry. We had additional expenses. We just don't have those broken out.
What's the number of
Hundred-
owners that make up
100
this 100 and some?
There's like 101, 100 people.
So my point is, do we need to evaluate the 75? Should there be an increase there or a decrease? I don't know.
Well, that kind of goes back to if you're going to put the $150,000 in the bond or whatever the number is that we're trying to get some true cost. Again, that kind of getting a true budget estimate will depend on where you choose to put this, because if you choose to put it at the fun park, I'm going to do a different layout than I'm going to do at the commons. But if once you decide that, I can get actual numbers, and that 150 might actually be 50,000.
Because here's the thing, if we budget $150 to allocate to an amenity that every resident can't walk off the street and leverage, I don't know if the resident should be footing the bill for something that they can't use unless they pay an additional fee.
So why don't we leave it the way it is right now? See where the dog park lands.
That's what we got to do.
See what start tracking those expenses once.
Well, we know we have
decide where-
150 allocated in the budget.
Yes, but then let's start tracking those expenses and then adjust it after that.
1,500.
Yeah, because right now we have a plan available to us that the dog park is in the Commons Park. We have a plan for that. So if we go that route and look at it, it may have to adjust it, but I think what you're getting to is a parking and access issue.
Well, what I'm getting at is, as a resident, why am I being taxed on something that I cannot use without additional fees? So I'm getting
what
charged
you mean.
twice.
What do you mean?
So for the dog park,
Yeah.
if we're budgeting 150 for relocation and improvements, as a resident, I'm going to pay the taxes on that because it gets lumped in. But I can't readily use that amenity. I'm going to pay the taxes on it, the 150, because you have to have an additional fee. You have to pay the $75 as a resident to go to the
Oh, I
dog
see
park.
what you're saying.
So I pay my portion of $150,000 of budgeted dollars, but I can't use that dog park without paying additional money. So I'm getting taxed twice on that amenity.
Okay, I see what you're
If
saying.
you're a resident.
If you're a
Non-resident is a different thing.
And that's different for other things. If you're a resident, you get access to all them, even the soccer park. You can go to the soccer park anytime you want and play, kick a ball or run around, and there's no additional charge. If you want to participate in a program, then that does cost you additional money, but it doesn't stop you at any time during the week to take your kids or your family, use the pavilion, use the playground, use the soccer park.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
And that's a valid point.
Yeah.
The
And
difference between a resident. Yeah.
Don't, not just to
Already
keep
paid.
this balloon in the air, but how do you do it at Pelican?
There's no charge.
So it's subsidized by the community as a whole.
Correct.
Okay.
And 100%.
Just another amenity.
It's another amenity.
It's just another amenity.
And no amenities at Pelican are extra expense to owners?
Correct.
Only
Now,
golf. Only
If we
golf.
want to change that, so it would
Well,
make
golf is a
sense,
membership,
then,
and that's a
then we
separate
drop the fee for residents and only charge non-residents. And then me as a taxpayer, I have no problem paying the money because I can take my dog up there at any time. I'll need to get an access card and fill out the paperwork, but there's no charge for it. Now that I can chew on
I
that,
see what you're talking about now. Okay.
but I don't
is
think
that a
we,
pun?
huh?
Is that a pun? 'Cause of the dog?
Not intended, but.
Okay.
Okay. So I agree with you. Let's collect the information, see where we're going, because we got several issues on the dog park, not the least of which is where the hell's it going to go? Okay. Okay, Anything else on fee
And
service
Tony,
discussion?
just so you know, the link that was provided did have the peach removed.
Okay,
So,
good.
So just so you're aware, I put this on here as a placeholder because I didn't know if PrAC was going to have any comments for you and feedback. They did not. So that's why it was put on here as it's
We had to
presented.
post this before they had their meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
So the peach is not under consideration for the public
Okay,
hearing.
well, I still had have that motion on the table, which of course Tony helped me with.
Oh, we still have that on? We got diverted?
Yeah.
We
Okay,
voted, I
so
wrote down.
there's second to the motion? I'll second
I
it.
think Flavia seconded.
She did.
She did.
I
she
did, yeah.
That was, I thought we approved this.
We
This
did.
is
I
for-
wrote down it was a 5-0
Yeah,
vote.
we did
Yeah, you
approve it.
Oh, we
voted.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, we voted on it.
Yeah,
I
you
say, I
voted
seemed
on
like
it.
we did that.
Okay.
Okay, item 11C, consideration of approving the FY
If I
2026.
could, the lady who entered here, she gave me a public comment card for this
Okay.
particular item. It's up to you if you'd like to allow her to speak.
We're on a roll here right now.
It's
but-
up to you. Like, we're past the public comment, so it's
Come
up,
on
it's
ahead.
up to you.
I don't object.
I don't object, okay.
Okay, you're allowed to. Come on up. You get your 3 minutes. I'll start it. Let me slide this
35,
over here.
For Pete's sakes. It's only 3:30.
Sherry Schiller, Camarel. I was listening online to the meeting, which I do if I'm not here. I was listening to the discussion of the proposed upcoming 2027 budget. I feel that we should have the numbers for the board before it goes on August 20th to be presented to the public. I think it puts the board in an inconvenient position to having voted for something, even though I realize it's in the future and I realize it's not set in stone. I think it would be good public relations that the numbers you are voting on in everyone's best interest, you have them from Infomark, from Stephen Bloom, and you have some real numbers that the board is making decisions. And that's just my comment as somebody that lives in the neighborhood. So I'm done.
Okay.
And I
thank you.
drove
Thank you.
over to tell you that.
Thank you.
We're working on that. Okay, consideration of approving the 2026, 2027 budget and adoption of,
When will we get the numbers on this?
Okay, if we can skip this and come back to it, unless you have any additional edits or comments or changes.
so the only thing we're
I have
talking about
none.
right now is just the reduction in the amount of the share that Pelican's going to have on that one item.
Yes.
That the impact it has upon the 3 or 4 options they have on generating that money.
Yes.
That's the
correct.
total issue.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
but
Unless,
then I would like to bring up, last meeting I asked for $150,000 to be put in Pelican's reserve fund for basically 2 reasons. The first one was that this year we are doing a major rehab of the street, Pelican Preserve Boulevard, our main entrance from tree line all the way to the 4-way stop. And
And that 150,000 is for surface replacement?
no, it sounded like, because we got an estimate from Tetra Tech that said it was going to be way over what we had budgeted for this year. I asked that we put some money into reserves for that. And also because at some point, Pelican has just started. It isn't probably going to happen even in 27 budget year, maybe 28, talking about a new entrance for Pelican because it's getting an older community and you need to freshen up your look from
Change your
time
lo-
to time.
Change your logo to a different bird.
Right. So now
A younger bird.
I would like to, and I'd like Bob to
55-year-old bird.
opine on this for his opinion. Should we take the 150,000 out of the reserves, Bob?
Well, it's a guess either way, until Laura generates a new number. I still
Right
think we're
now,
gonna be,
my
Negative.
quick and dirty shows
Yeah.
that the Pelican went down by 0.5%, because the only thing that, I need the mouse. The only, we're still working on a couple of notes. Steven and I are working on it in the background here. So
Okay.
this number went away, the 17.6, I took that away. And this went down from, you went from 600 and something down to 255,000. And I'm assuming that you're going to either use some kind of funding, whether it be reserves, loan, whatever, to pay for the Parks and Rec. None of those other numbers changed, except for this number and this
Okay.
number from what I originally calculated. So it
What I
had,
expect to change, is that I think that the ponds and P-PAC is going to defer the refurbishment of Pond 21 until 2028. So instead of spending that money in 2027, they're going to stay within their normal budget of 804,000. They will underrun that spending. They will accumulate money in their carry forward. And then in 2028, bringing that carry forward money in and then spending the money on Pond 21, they'll net out even. The effect of that change will put them back into a negative increase, if I'm correct.
So if we take out the 150,000 and then they change, ponds changes, budgeting for pond
Right.
21,
Right.
you're saying that'll put it back in a negative.
I think that's what's going to happen. Now, we do have the impact of things we've been discussing today and the decision of what they might have to do to pay their fair share of the admin and all the other stuff that we did earlier. I'm swagging at this point. I can't get it all in my head. So let's just leave it where it is and take it to the next.
From what it is right now, it's showing 6.8%. If we take the 150 out, that should reduce it to 3.8%.
About half.
I
so
would
early in the
prefer to
process,
have that
I don't care.
percentage going forward in the high water mark than a negative
If
number.
that's what you prefer, I'm okay with it. I'm good with it.
Okay. So I'd like the 150,000 in reserves taken out.
okay, Stevens, I'm watching it wiggle in the background here.
Okay.
So-
Taking the 150,000 out, we're still validating this. It actually takes you to a 1.1% increase.
See, that's what I was afraid of.
Okay,
Cal.
so
There's too many
what
moving
do I
parts.
have to do to get it around 3%?
You gotta wait. You gotta wait till all the accounts settle out.
So if that is the only change,
Yes.
and there are no other changes from the board, if we can give them some time and move on to the next, come back to this.
But your idea is to shoot for around 3.8%.
Correct.
3.0.
If you go for 3.8%
3.0.
and it's at 6,
Well, even if it's 3.8, Bob, it's okay.
is the 6.8 that's in the current budget, version 3, based on the 150 in?
Yes.
Yes.
And parks, and the 12, there's
Oh, it was
600,000
the
on
bigger number
top.
on the parks.
Right.
There's where the problem
Yes,
was.
so that's why they need a little bit of time,
Okay.
And they're going down to
half,
Half.
so.
half
If
of
I put
that.
60,000 in instead of 150,000, it gets it to about 3.2.
Good.
That's fine. Let's
We're
do
still
that.
validating the rest of the numbers in the background, but
Right.
that's like, I can see, like I said, Steven is doing stuff and things are flashing around on the screen. So he and I are both updating numbers actively, but I moved it from 150 down to 60,000. And then with all of these changes here, this will be a 0 and this becomes 55, but with those other
So it
changes.
should be around 3.
This won't have an impact because you're completely offsetting it, and none of these this number is still the same, and this number is still the same as what was presented to you today. So only this number, which is completely offset, so it's a net 0 regardless. So really, the only change is this.
You say
So-
offset by what?
I assume
One
they would
la-
use
one
some
last
type of
comment.
funding for it, so.
One
it's-
last
it's-
comment. I
Okay.
believe they have a budget item of 100,000 or something for reserves. The only money we're really talking about changing was Carol's additional money, correct?
You had no money in the reserve, well, let me take that back. The budget that's presented to you today, this one with the charts that you have in your board book, has $150,000 in reserves. right
That's the
here.
money I put in.
That's what Carol requested.
Okay,
But
you're
they did
saying-
not,
There
P-PAC
was
did
not a-
not budget anything for reserves.
I do
But they
not believe
didn't-
that.
They didn't nix it. So what I did is I changed this number to $60,000. So that with the other small changes that were made, where am I
Hold
going?
on. There is money in reserves and
That's
each,
what I thought.
and
And we
each.
just
Oh, and for
boosted
each of the subcommittees, yes. But they didn't approve an
Okay.
overall general, non-specifically allocated
Okay.
reserve, which is what you did, because you guys have not put like your slush fund reserve money in
Correct.
at all in 2 or 3 years now, so. But each of the subcommittees does have capital projects reserved for things
So
that they have coming up.
the 150 or the 60, if you choose to reduce, would strictly go into unassigned reserves.
So you could use it
So
anywhere.
safety and security, put in a little bit in their pot, ponds put a little bit in their pot,
Okay,
so,
that's fine.
okay.
Landscape, a
good.
little bit in
I
there, so.
would like the Pelican high water mark to be around 3%-ish.
Okay, so
Ish.
we'll let them work through that, and
Okay.
if we can, Ed, if we can come back to this item.
Okay.
All right,
Sounds good.
all right, in the interim,
Your turn.
my turn. I just have one or a couple things. Carol, I believe you requested at the last board meeting during supervisor comments, or maybe even one before that, about us communicating to the C5 residents. The Randy, I have to give him kudos, reached out to the property management company there because it is all rentals. He drafted a email communication notifying them of all of the things that they could benefit from here at Gateway and what they could get. And they did email it out to their residents, and we had our first pool pass sign up yesterday.
Really?
Yep.
Speaking of that, did
Great.
anybody ever mention the same thing to Arborwood?
We have had Arborwood Phase 3 folks come in.
Yeah.
We have had them. We could send that same communication out and ask Arborwood Phase 3. So
Yes.
I can have Randy do that. Send
Great.
Arborwood. I know this is kind of not our typical update, but we have the Grace Community School, which is over here kind of near us.
Next to the old fire department, new
Yep.
fire department.
Yep. They have been going through the review process with us, and we anticipate bringing their approval in front of you, hopefully at your next meeting with a recommendation for approval. So I just wanted to get you up to speed on that, because that's kind of been working in the background. But other than that, I don't really have any other updates for district manager.
Speaking of Grace in that area, Tony, any update on that property owners association at all?
No, I can't recall if I mentioned at a board meeting, Mark Ebolini was contacted, I guess, by Grace Community School. And he contacted Chelsea to inquire about some issues they were having with Lee County with regards to getting their DO from Lee County for Grace Community School. And when I talked to Mark, and I've known Mark a long time, you've seen him before, he was here representing Lee Health in the past. And he couldn't find the litigation at eminent domain, so I gave him some of the documents I had and said, here, go forward, and hopefully you can get with your folks and the other property owners there to reconstitute the organization and get those funds out of the court registry. I've not heard from Mr. Evolini since then, and I've not checked the docket to see what was going on.
I can
Do
tell you.
do they have streetlights over there?
Yes,
Who's paying for their lights?
you voted on it.
We did.
Yes,
So because it's
Easement,
basically a community road.
yes.
Okay.
As a follow-up to that, the pastor, priest, I don't know, the head of the Grace Community School organization was walking around knocking on doors, trying to tell everybody, hey, they're trying to reestablish that defunct POA. So I know that they are taking that upon themselves to lead that charge to try to get it reestablished because of this permitting
Yeah, because that
snafu with.
school, I think the sidewalks alone would become an issue.
Yep,
Yeah,
so,
I told Mark I had over 10 years worth of documents if he ever wanted any, to get the whole history. I said, the board has been trying aggressively for years.
Okay.
And-
Sorry, I brought it up.
I'm sorry?
I said, sorry, I
No,
brought
no,
it up.
no, I think it was a good, that's what I mentioned.
But I think if they're going to put a
before.
school there, I would think they would want to have that
Agreed.
association back
Yep.
to make that complete. Because they got road issues, they got sidewalk issues, God only knows what
so
else.
that's really the only kind of minor two updates that I've got. I lied, one other. We typically do a red, white, and pool around the 4th of July. We are not doing it this year because of the construction going on at the pool. You'll notice a lot of notices going out about some flagging operations, some
Parking.
closures of the parking at the pool. August 5th is substantial completion date, and that is what OAK has told me that they will be meeting or intend on meeting as long as Mother Nature, is kind. But that is the goal right now. So there's gonna be a lot of work, a lot of movement. So
And what do you think? Do you think they'll make it?
I think we might have a couple rain days. I think we'll have a couple rain days, but I think they're gonna be close. I'm pushing them to make that date.
Well, they should be basically inside now.
They're doing a lot of that right now.
They have windows in.
Those are scheduled next week. The frames are in. They didn't want to put the glass in because the workers are in there running lines and wires, and it gets real hot real quick. Spray foam insulation is scheduled in 2 weeks.
Putting the fabric on the roof.
Yep. So you're getting ready to see a lot of movement out there. So
You going to bring up anything else on?
I do.
Okay.
So
What's the status of the program position for Parks
Haven't-
and Rec?
that's funded. Well, it's for next year. That position. So I've got to work on drafting the.
So we don't have the job description or anything yet. That's,
Yeah,
okay.
I've got to work on that. I met with FPL this morning.
I was going to ask. I didn't
Yeah.
know.
I met with the folks from the FPL project this morning. They basically, and I'm going to try to communicate this out. I don't want to be their messenger, but this was what was relayed to me. They're going to come in and they're going to clear cut the easement. They have to do what they have to do. They have rights to do what they need to do. The big line that's out there that has the X on it,
Tall tower.
the tall tower, they're basically putting another one of those in on this side. They're aiming.
East side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
East side.
Yes. I've had a couple conversations with Stony Brook. I've got to have some follow-up conversations with Hampton Park. The takeaway was they're going to do what they have to do to bring in this transmission line, which is part of a much bigger project. They have regulatory requirements that they have to meet with regards to clearance and safety and trees and construction and permits that they have to do. They anticipate sometime at the end of this year, early next, for these things to take place. They did produce a direct shared email inbox that they created specifically for this project that we are posting on our fact sheet, and encouraging anybody who has any comments or concerns to email it directly to that. This is their project. It is not ours. We accepted these parcels 3 years ago, subject to all easements that have been in place since the 60s and 70s. They, empathize, they understand, but they have to run this wire. They have to bring in large crane trucks to set these poles and these posts. They're still in design. They don't have all of the specifics, but it's forthcoming. It's going to happen. The biggest takeaway I got was they're going to stay within, obviously, their easement. That's not saying that Hampton Park can't do whatever they have to do on their side of their common element line and within their own properties. Same goes with Stony Brook. But basically, once construction happens, they'll come in. Most of the time, whatever they take down, they just kind of mulch it and leave it and leave it as mulched, which would mean less that we would have to mow over time, and maybe, some of those mulch trees sprig back. But then after construction's done, it goes to the ops side of things and on some type of long-term maintenance schedule.
Did they say anything about what the separation distance is to having two of those twin towers? They don't put them side by side. So there's got to be some type
There
of
is,
separation.
and that's in their engineering department for design. Basically, if you look out there, what the separation is from the next line, you can pretty much guess that that's what's going to be on the other
Flip-flop
side.
the other side.
Yes.
So
And you do that, and then you go with another 55-foot wide pole, rack that's on the
Arms.
top. You haven't got room left.
So the question is, when I understand the regulation, the requirements, having to clear cut, is that clear cutting, is that going to be maintained over time? Or is that stipulation just so they can do construction, and then over time, they will allow certain vegetation to grow back to a certain degree? I'm curious what they determine as being clear cut, and they need to
You're suggesting they perform maintenance.
well, I want to know if they are.
We haven't seen them do that.
I'm
As
with
I was
that. I've
gonna
never
say,
seen-
they haven't done anything for years, so I expect that eventually it will grow and they will only cut if they need access to it, but I expect zero maintenance from FPL.
And Flavia, that was somewhat conveyed to me, and that's kind of why I was trying to allude to, there's a construction project and a construction schedule, and they have to do what they have to do for the construction. Once construction's complete, then it
We
kind of
won't see
goes,
them again for another 30 years.
and then if a
So they
line,
need another line to go through.
if a line blows out, if they have to come in and do maintenance, they'll come in and do what they have to do. But they leave it really to the property owner underneath who maintains and
Okay.
One question. Did they say anything about our proposal for the utilities that we're going to put up that right away? Did that come
they
up?
are going to work with us to the best of their abilities for our force main and irrigation main redundancy
Because right
project.
now, that's the reason I asked that question earlier. If there's a separation distance that they don't want us under the line, will they allow us to relocate our line such that it parallels the two strands and go up the middle?
They have our files. They're going to work with us, is what I've been told.
Right now, it sounds like what you're describing, our line is going to go under their currently proposed new line. Looks
I-
like it's right under it.
I'm again, getting as much information as they're willing to give.
If they would do that, that would be to our advantage, because it's a lot clearer. It'd be a lot easier to install our line.
We, on our design, hugged
Right.
as far as we could.
Yeah.
Because of fear of this exact thing in the future. We didn't
If we
realize it
would've
was
known
gonna,
that, we probably wouldn't have put it where we put it.
yeah.
We would have gone over to the middle. Okay.
So,
Okay, anything else?
nothing else, but we will update the fact sheet and let anybody know who reaches out that shared inbox is available.
I think with what we now know, we might as well just get it on the street, let everybody know it, and then, like you say, go through that process. Okay, okay.
Can we have that as an agenda management item? Just so when you know something,
Yes.
We-
You,
I don't want somebody to think that, okay, you had a meeting and now everything's going to fall through the cracks. I just want
as
us
it,
to know what's going on as soon as.
it's on agenda management. I literally had them here this morning at 9 a.m. So it is fresh off of my brain. But as updates become available, I will make it part of the record and a written item here for the board.
Anything else?
I have nothing else right now.
Tony?
Update just on Santa Luz. I think we are making some progress.
Come on.
No, well,
Just in time for next dry
I
season.
received an email today, yeah.
It's like
and
last
that
2
was an
years.
email today from the attorney from Lennar. where I'd sent, after the last board meeting, Chelsea and I talked about it, I sent an email. It was a good suggestion saying, hey, the board has these 3 or 4 issues, and make sure I have the latest Word version. I'll make the amendments and then circulate it. I received a response today, and she said, yep, go ahead and do that. There's some things that may not be necessarily acceptable, but at least I'll get that out by like Monday, Tuesday next week to keep that rolling. So that was positive. They got a response within a relatively short period of time, considering everything that's been going on. Working with Chelsea and a number of other issues, agenda items, and the CCTV, we're working through that, trying to, we notified the surety on that also, and trying to set a new change order with a new date. We've had no response yet, so I just want to stop it at that, because it may end up being in some less than pleasant mode in the future, but hopefully they will respond as we requested.
One of you gave us some board policy manual. A while ago, you asked for comments. Is that ready to come
I think
before
it's
the
ready to
board
come,
now?
I think it's ready to come to the board. Chelsea and I were talking about from an agenda perspective, maybe the July meeting.
Stall it for 60 days.
Right?
I thought we put that off till January or something.
What year, Bob?
What did he
No,
do?
I thought we put that
We're
off
not
till
touching
December.
it.
I think we talked about the fall, maybe.
Thank you,
Yeah, I
Bob.
think, yeah, Bob, I think we pushed it to the fall after budget.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
right.
If you guys are good with that, we can do
Yeah.
that. Yes,
You can just schedule it right now
Rather
for
watch paint dry.
September,
September. Yep, second meeting September, just to,
first meeting, because I try to cancel the second meeting, so we
first
can,
meeting in September, sounds like a charm.
first meeting in September.
Yep.
Anything else? Is there
No, sir.
any, is that, if this thing with Santa Luz doesn't move, because I'm just looking at it right now, the rains are coming back, it's going to rise up, and we'll be waiting another year.
That's most likely what's going to happen.
It's exactly, what would keep us from going in, giving them a notice, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go out and we're going to take, we've got the, or do we have the design for that? We know what we want.
Stephen has
We
it.
could get it.
Stephen
We
has
go
it.
take bids on our own, we build the thing and send them a check or an invoice.
We can do that, and they'll probably ignore it. We probably won't hear anything back.
And then things would get real ugly after that. But this is ridiculous. Those people over there are absolutely immensely frustrated.
I understand that. I've been dealing, and
It
Rob
looks
Cooper,
like all the houses on the opposite side of the lake are absolutely, the values are decayed because of that. It looks like crap.
yeah, and again, the association still has their 558 issue out there, and we're also trying to resolve it. Hopefully, at least we'll get something so that maybe at the end of this rainy season, they will do it.
Yeah, if we can get this in writing, I mean, we're already in June. I think we've missed this window, Ed, truthfully.
Well,
If
the
we can-
water's down so low right now, it's going to take at least a month to even start to get back up to the stone. It's not even up to the stone.
Okay,
It's in the
I haven't
dirt.
been over recently, so.
Well, what we'll shoot for is to try to have it on your June next board meeting, hopefully. As far as an agreement, then we'll have to talk about start dates, and we can put the start dates.
We already had that done.
Let's see
They
what-
already approved it.
Subject to these conditions. Yeah, if you and I are comfortable with it, okay. Yep, okay.
The goal is to get it done as long as we can get everybody to sign it.
Good point, Chelsea. Thanks for that reminder.
Anything else, Tony?
No, sir.
Okay. Going back, or is he ready yet?
Stephen is, we have the general fund and the lake bank tied out. There's a little hiccup in the 2023 bond allocations, but I'm still hanging at 3.2% with the adjustments that we made for Pelican. So the way the chart is reading right now, this is all in with debt service.
Can we show?
Okay.
Can we draw it over here?
No, because
Well,
it's. not
Carol's
my
question is, do we have a number that she
Hang
can
on,
approve?
Hang on. Hang
Let her-
on.
We still need to go?
Hang on.
Give her a minute. if you
Okay, well
could.
then let's go on to the,
Agenda management?
go into the agenda items. Do agenda management, get that done.
Give her a minute. All right, just next meeting,
Yeah, let's recap what our timeline is now. Next meeting is the approval of the, when did we set the date for the public hearing?
right now.
Tonight.
Today.
Tonight. And that's based upon this being the high water mark.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I want to give her additional time to work through some of the things.
So nothing between.
We have the public hearing at the next meeting for the fee schedule. Then we've got a couple other agenda items, but basically from there on out, we're gonna have, continue to have budget discussions to see if you have anything else that you want to change.
Go down.
Yes.
Okay.
And then also we can continue to have these CIP discussions, or I can work through with Tetra Tech on getting a task authorization in front of you and with.
I was going to ask, when are we going to get the authorization for both Tetra Tech and Russ?
I can
for
work
that
on
work?
that and we can bring that so you see what those costs are. Obviously, we'll have to pay for that somehow. But we can, and then that we can, if you approve that, we can get them working on those reports
Well,
for
it's got
your
to be done.
consideration for the new bond. See, Carol, we do have on here the FPL transmission line project. It's kind
Oh, I see it. Okay, thank you.
of,
About
Why
1,
did
2,
that light
3,
go-
4,
there it is.
fourth down.
copying and,
Okay, so the next,
I got it.
the first meeting in July would be on the 3rd.
you've canceled that meeting.
Did we cancel that
It would
meeting?
be the second, then you canceled it.
Because I will be here if there's,
So we only have the second July meeting.
Yes.
What's the date on that one? 17th,
16th.
16th?
well, 3,
July 16th. So you've canceled the July 2nd meeting
okay.
already.
So we go to that June meeting and then have a month between the two meetings. Okay.
So you would have the June 18th meeting to have continued budget discussions, and then the July 16th meeting to have continued budget discussions.
When we come to August, okay.
Right?
Laura, trying to figure out how to
Well,
make it
If you needed
bigger.
a meeting,
So-
I will be available. So,
Hot off the press.
This is it?
Yep.
Okay. Email that to us so we can copy it and substitute that in with our papers for,
Well, this will go with once the budget is, because you set the budget, I couldn't print it to attach it until you approved it. So this will be this is from the budget that Stephen and I are chugging away here. Everything tied out. So this is with,
Resolution.
this is with the changing the amenities down to moving all the water from 001 to 002, so that 55,000 is all under general fund now.
Bob, can you and Flavia see this?
No, I'm not.
Um,
seeing- Oh, okay.
And then I took the lights. The amenities went to 650,000 for the dog park and the Zoysia only. The lights at the fields was 700. I zeroed out the lights at the pool, zeroed out the playground, zeroed out the sign, zeroed out anything for soccer, and changed the admin capital, general, all-in, unreserved, unassigned capital from 150,000 to 60,000 in the Pelican Fund. And the net result is this. So
I think that covered all the things we talked about.
that was everything that I wrote down unless I missed something. That's why I read the list as I did. And I did them as I did them, wrote them, and then did them in the live copy. So
Bob, Flavia, either one of you have anything?
No,
We can see it pretty clear here.
So it looks
No,
like
we can see pretty good too.
well, yeah, I have one question. If you make the move with the ponds, didn't that favorably impact Pelican Golf? Or was that not considered, Laura?
you did not make that adjustment in this budget, especially for the high water. I would recommend leaving it in there. And then I would say if they decide they want to change that, then that would absolutely affect the golf
Okay,
course.
then I'm good. I'm good with it. I didn't know if you did both things at the same time.
No, the only move I made that affected waterway was taking out that $17,000
Gotcha.
and moved it all over to the general
Okay,
fund. I
I'm
did
good.
not make any other changes.
I'm good.
So
I'm
are we
good.
ready to introduce Resolution 2026-18?
Hang on.
No. I just want to hear from Stephen Bloom. You there?
Go, Steve.
Yes,
I'm here.
Oh, you're quiet.
Stephen, are you good?
I can't hear him.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You're quiet, but
You're
we can hear you.
faint.
If I turn them up, everybody else is going to be really loud.
Yeah, no, I'm good with this. I checked the numbers.
There we
here.
go.
Yeah.
Yep, I can see them. Everything tied out. That's what we were checking, so.
So Stephen, you are good with the numbers as presented here in front of us?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, now we are ready to go back to item 11C. When you are ready.
11C, and at this point then, are we ready to make a,
Tony, could you give me a motion to make, please?
we got one.
The motion is to adopt the resolution. Let me get it's
2026-18 in the back of the book.
adopt the, adopt the resolution.
26-18.
2026-18, approving the fiscal 2027 budget and setting a public hearing, all in the resolution with regards to the date, time, place, and location of the budget adoption hearing. And
So moved.
I'll second your motion.
Okay. Doug beat you to it. Okay, we have a motion and a second of Resolution 2026-18, a resolution approving a proposed budget and setting a public hearing for August 20th, 2026, 6 p.m. at the Gateway Boardroom with a spillover to the Gateway Church. Any other discussion? If
None.
not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you.
And then
Boy, I tell you,
tomorrow
that
we'll-
was smooth for 4 meetings of budget.
I'm going to tell you,
What-
I
what
did
I will
not
do-
expect us to be here.
Okay, I didn't either. No way.
I will, when I print the version tomorrow to attach to the agenda, I will email it to all of you, because that's the one that will also be posted on our website.
I do want to take a second to recognize Laura for all her efforts with this budget. Couple less nights.
Less nightmares than
How could you do
previous
that? Her hair
years,
hadn't
yeah.
changed gray.
It's great. There's some extra in there,
And
but yeah.
Stephen Bloom and Russ, but Laura has really taken the legwork on this, and I think it's shown. I think with time, and this is year 2 on this new methodology. I think we've made a great effort to make this less painful than it's been in the past.
I
I
think
want to go back, Laura, to where we were when you first came on board and the budget, the budget
Doug, I was
shifts.
thinking about the same thing. Throw a
The bu-
number and what can we do with this number?
Well, not only the number, but just the process from when we get started to the end, because normally it got extremely hectic, almost frantic
I
towards
think
the
it was
end.
painful is what it was.
Yeah. And every year we continue to get better and better. And I think you need to be complimented as well as the effort that staff has made to contributing to the numbers. I mean, it does take a village, but I'm extremely excited about where we've landed on this.
She underplayed one thing a while ago when Carol was asking for that number. What comes out on that paper and the crunching that goes into it is unbelievable.
There's about 20, well, probably 30 tabs that are all linked together. And so we have checks and balances along each step. So you take the sheets that you see for like 001 and there's like 8 tabs that calculate those numbers behind
still,
the
even
scenes,
We,
so-
we worked for years with one shoe fits all.
Yeah.
That's the way it was.
Yeah.
Well, and
We
also
don't have that
with the
anymore.
complexity on the back end, your ability to almost in real time make changes with a high degree of accuracy and quality. I mean, that's a lot. And it helps this board to be more proactive. When we do make changes, we can see things on the fly.
See it
and,
fast.
I mean, we basically, almost the last 2 years, final approval date, there's very minimal conversation. It's just do it at that point. So, and that's great, because budgeting is normally the hardest thing that a district has to go through, especially a board that's managing it. So I appreciate the kudos and compliments.
And I want to echo the sentiments with staff because, I mean, Laura is the one who puts it and makes the end product what it is, but it takes a village. So it's kudos to everybody involved in this process. So thank you. And thank you for supporting us yet again in a lot of these initiatives.
Supervisor comments. Flavia.
Yes, Ed.
Supervisor comments. Do you have anything?
I don't have any. Thank you all for, Bob, stop laughing. No, thank you all.
Missed you being here. Bob, anything?
No, I don't have anything else.
Carol?
No.
Doug?
I just want, as you're going through that programs position, let's look at a timeline, because I think it needs to be in parallel, if not prior to, when the amenities
Roll out.
are rolled out, because again, I think there's a huge opportunity for revenue generation and also just,
Get off on the right foot.
and just community, because there's going to be a lot of coordination, whether it's programs or just making sure facilities are available, that the scheduler is working appropriately, that someone, if there are any issues, they got someone to go to. But I'm looking at this position as being a great conduit to the community when it comes to our amenities and programs, but more importantly, a true avenue and channel for revenue generation. So
Yes, and I wanted us to get through at least the high water mark. I didn't want to count my what is it, count your eggs before they hatch. Chickens count my chickens, eggs, same thing.
Before the eggs hatch.
But it is our intent to draft the job description, post it, advertise, ideally recruit and get somebody on board. We've got some funds that we can move around to try to bring them on sooner than the start of the fiscal. But that is our intent, is to have that in place, ready to rock and roll on opening
I
day.
agree. Yeah.
I have nothing. Anybody else say anything else?
No.
Okay, no.
Move
Motion to adjourn.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you.
Ed.
Thanks, everybody.